Hi there, weavers. Welcome back. This is Grace with Tangled Webs Weaving, and I am starting a new project which I have woven last year. And if you want to see the video of me weaving that, you can look at I'll put the link up here in the corner and also in the description down below. But this is a color and weave pattern, and you need to warp it 2 at a time. So here is a sample of it. So this is the napkins this is actually a sample. I was trying some different treadling on it, but this is basically what they look like. So you warp this 2 at a time, 1 white and 1 black, or 1 white and 1 blue for this. 1 light, 1 dark. So I've shown this technique of warping 2 at a time before, but I thought maybe you could get a better understanding of it, because I've had some people say that they're still having trouble understanding and getting it done. So I thought I'd go through it really slow and show you how I do it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as always, I have joined the 2 threads here with a slip knot, and I'm going to keep them separated with my finger. Now, I'm right-handed, so this technique is going to be shown right-handed. There might be a little bit of difference for left-handers, but I'm not sure. So what I like to do is I like to start down at this bottom left peg, and I start at the bottom because I put my cross at the top. It's just the way that I do it. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is have your finger in between the 2 threads, and that the threads coming up from your cones down here on the floor or wherever they are, the threads aren't crossed, because that's gonna create some twists and tangles as you're trying to pull off the cone, and you don't want that. So the key is to keep your hand in a flat position the entire time. And so I'm going to close my fingers around there, and that will create some equal tension on both sides. I'm going to come down and around this post from the bottom, and I'm going to pull with my left hand. So I just reach through and I grab those threads, and I pull with my left hand and place them on the next peg. Now this is an 8-yard warp. I have an 8-yard board, so I'm going to use every peg. So we'll just, and this does 2 things using both hands. It keeps this hand in the right orientation, and it keeps you from twisting your shoulders trying to go around the posts on the other side. So now here, I'm going to go around the top of this post, go under this post, and this is creating my cross. And then I'm going to go over the top of this post, and okay, so here I'm running into a problem. So if I keep my hand in this orientation, I'm having a cross over here, and I don't really want that. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to get my hands in the right orientation. Okay, well, if I do it this way, oh, now I've got a cross over here. So I need to figure out how to do this so that I don't have a cross either spot here, because the logical way to do this is to go up and over, but then I'm twisting my thread. See how that now is getting twisted, and I don't want that. So somewhere along the line, I have made an error. And the best thing to do is just to back up to the beginning and start over. Okay, well, let's see. What if I start from this side? And I'm going to, again, keep things flat. And I kind of started funny there, but let's see if this works. And sometimes this is what it takes on a new warp where you're not sure kind of what the orientation is going to be. All right, so now I can take and I'm caught down here somewhere. Oh. All right. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. All right, so we're going to make sure our threads are in the right position. We're going to create our cross, and look at that. Okay, so that is the orientation that I need to be in. So I needed to start from the right-hand side and end on the left-hand side. And that really is just dependent on which pegs you're using to be able to keep your hand in this correct orientation. So now we can just come down like this. And, oops, I almost missed one. All right, so now for here, we're going to go under this far peg that we started on, and we could do one of two ways. We can come over the top and then under this one right here, and that will fall out when we take it off the, this little cross here will fall out when we take it off the loom or off the board. Or we could do it right here. Either way is fine. This might be less confusing because then when you're counting your threads that you've wound on, they're all here instead of being split between two lines. So let's do that again. So this is what I tried to avoid, doing this, because I'm sorry, that's just hard on your shoulder. Now I will admit, on the top, that's usually what I do because my left hand is trying to control this cross. But for the rest of them, I'm going to use my left hand to pull it across, and that's going to kind of keep my body balanced. Okay. So you'll notice this right hand is staying in the same orientation the entire time. And even with this one, if I do it with my left hand, it's just going to stay in that orientation. It's always going to stay flat. If you, on your first pass, if you're having to twist at the end here and trying to get your hand in the right orientation to make that turn, then you need to stop and you need to back up and try a different path, because that is the key to this whole thing of warping 2 at a time, is find the path that you can use. So whether you start from the right or the left, end on the right, the left or the right, and what pegs you're using in between are going to really impact whether this hand can stay in the correct orientation. So I am just going to continue on here, and I have 70 passes to do, so it's going to take a little while, but it's going to take half the time because I'm winding 2 at a time. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and happy weaving!